So this guy, so I got a job in a restaurant. This was like, I don't know, years ago. I don't remember what age I was. First day I show up, I had only worked at a restaurant ever one time. That didn't go too well either, so I was kind of skeptical, and I was like, well, if I don't like this one, then I kind of know that I just am not cut out for the restaurant world. In hindsight, I think the problem with the first restaurant was that everybody in there was doing coke, so obviously they could do a lot more work a lot faster than I could.
Yeah, so you were in slow
So
motion.
I always seemed lazy.
Yeah.
And that was the problem with the first one. But the second one, and I didn't know that everybody was doing coke until like
Now,
years
they
later I
didn't do
realized
coke
like
because,
what
like,
doing coke looks like.
Are they doing coke because the job expectation is so crazy? They
Yeah.
didn't need to be on. Like,
Maybe
they're drinking
not in that
Monsters and
specific
Red Bulls and
maybe
doing
not in that
coke.
specific scenario, but I would say that in like the
Right.
restaurant world, you're expected to be like high
On.
energy at all times. So that's why
performance.
like drinking Monster Energies and like doing coke and all those upper shit, that's like part of that culture.
Especially when you work at like a fancy restaurant, Rittenhouse Square in Center
Yeah.
City, Philadelphia. Like, it's a performance that you're putting on to every table. Like, when you go there, you have to recite like a certain verbiage and be
and if you work at like a
enthusiastic
bar, you're almost like expected to drink.
yeah.
I was like, my first ever job at a restaurant, I was like 18, and I did drink, but after work every night at 2 o'clock, I wasn't trying to sit there with them and have drinks till 4. I
But
was
then you're
trying to
seen
go,
as the weirdo.
yeah, I was just trying to go home, but then you're seen as the dude who like don't want to hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
So back to the story, my second job at a restaurant, I show up the first day, I'm standing there, they're doing like a little like team meeting beforehand, just saying, this is what we're gonna do, these are our specials, whatever. And I had never worked at a restaurant at like this quality before, but I was just like bussing, so I just had to like pour water for people and like pick up plates and stuff. So I catch this dude who's standing with the managers, who I don't know whether he's a manager or not, but he's standing by them and like leaning over a table with like 2 man titties just like sitting right there in my face. And I catch him just grilling me, just like staring me down. So me just like being the type of person that I was back then, and like I still kind of am now, but I've dumbed it down a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna just like act like I don't see you staring at me. I'm just gonna stare back at you. So I looked this dude directly in his eyes and did not pay attention to anything the other manager was saying about his whole speech. Me and him just had a stare down for like a minute straight.
Were you blinking?
Nope.
Were you waiting for him to blink?
And then whatever, like I'm not gonna like
That's how you know it's
lie
petty.
and say, oh, he looked away. Like I don't know who looked away, but whatever. That's what happened. And I knew from that second that he had a problem with me before he ever spoke to me. And maybe other people experience this. Like sometimes people just don't like you for whatever reason. Like this guy never said a word to me.
100%.
Like, and I knew that we had a problem.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. So I go through the first work day, whatever. It's all good. Like, the actual manager was like, all right, we'll see you tomorrow. Like, come back. I come back the next day, doing the same thing, just pouring water, like, taking plates, doing my thing. Staying in the background, because they told you, like, if you're not out there working, just, like, stay in the back. So the guy comes up to me in the middle of the floor, like, in front of all the customers. Now, he doesn't yell it or anything. He whispers to me, but he does come up to me in the middle of, like, the shift. And he goes, for you, I see a lot of standing around. So I was already thrown off because I knew from day one that this dude was eventually going to have a problem. So I
Yeah.
knew this was coming.
He was
So
establishing
he
it right
came
there.
up, said that to me, and I said, okay, like when? Like tell me when you saw me. And he goes, well, yesterday. And I said, so you're telling me today about something that happened yesterday. And you came up with all this energy about I'm standing around, but you can't tell me one time that I was standing around today. You're telling me, well, yesterday. It's the best you got for me. And his response was, and I quote, why don't you just be quiet and do what I say? So I laughed in
Yeah,
the guy.
fuck that.
So I laughed in the guy's face and said, you're burnt. And just took the uniform off right there in front of him. Because first of all, if you didn't want me to make an unprofessional scene, then you shouldn't have yourself made an unprofessional scene by coming up to me like in front of the people sitting
Yeah.
there eating. You could have said something to me in the back. But you obviously wanted to make it seem like, oh, you're asserting your dominance.
You
on
also
me.
could have went about it a different way. You could have pulled you aside and be like, yo, yesterday I noticed you were standing around. Like, we kind of don't do that here. Like, when,
Yeah,
when you're not, you know
definitely.
what I mean? Yeah.
So after that, I just left.
Because
right away.
this isn't your third month. This is your first and second day.
Yeah, it's literally the second day.
Yeah.
And he said, why don't you just be quiet and do what I say? And I was like, dude, that just ain't flying. Like,
Nah.
if we
You
were
already
out-
know right there. That's
if
not
we
a
were
place I wanna
outside,
work.
it's instant beef. But for right now, I'll just take the uniform off and leave. You'll get a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, just like people like that in general just suck. It's like, dude, I get it. I understand. Like, you're an obese waste, but like, you don't gotta be mad at me for being fucking young and cute.
And
Like,
that's
come on,
and
bro.
honestly, that's what it was when he was staring at you at that meeting. He's like, damn, I
100%.
want to be him.
He's like, damn, I could have been in shape too if I didn't start eating fucking 4 plates of cheese and 4 bottles of wine a night.
And you were just staring back at him like, damn, I wish I wasn't that fat. Thank God.
Yeah.
And I hear that. Actually,
Honestly, like, that's a dude. I don't hold a grudge against him, but I don't want anything good for that guy. I don't.
do you
I
want
don't.
anything bad for him, or you just
I
don't
don't want anything bad for
necessarily,
him, but
like,
I don't want nothing
you don't
good
want him
for
to hit the lottery?
Nah. I don't
Gotcha.
want him to hit the lottery. I don't even want him to fucking hit on roulette.
Gotcha.
I don't want anything good for him. For real. That dude's a piece of shit.
Your story's actually pretty more respectable than mine. Mine's is a little like, this is totally my fault.
Yeah,
but
you played the bad guy.
I had to quit. Not really quit, but I got a job. This is actually my first post-COVID job. So I got this job in August, and I quit after 2 weeks. So what happened was I was working at a pretty renowned brewery in the city of Philadelphia. I won't say which one.
It rhymes with lards.
Yeah, it happens to ride with large. And the people there were pretty cool. That was another place where it was like after your shift, like everybody goes and has shift beers, and like I didn't partake. So I was already kind of like
The outside.
he was like, oh, he just shows up for work and that's it. He's not our friend. So everybody was really cool though. One weekend, I should say, on a Sunday, it happened to be week 1 of the NFL season, and the Eagles had lost to the Washington football team. At that point, probably around halftime.
Hold on. Moment of silence for the Eagles losing to the Washington football team.
And the fact that I watched the whole game from start to finish, it really salted the wound. Now, if you remember last year, week 1 Washington football team, we fucking routed them. So it was pretty embarrassing to watch.
I don't care what the score was. It was 17-0 at halftime. If you told me that Ron Rivera was going to get a cancer treatment in the locker room in front of all the players, it could have been 31-0. I would have bet the Redskins money line. Like, you're not going to watch a guy get a cancer treatment and then lose.
Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to Ron Rivera for just beating cancer. Congrats, Ron. Glad you're in good health.
Real shit. No limit.
Yeah, so it was week 1 of the NFL season. It was a Sunday, and since the game wasn't going according to plan, drinking got out of hand. I'm at the bar. I'm slamming shots. Next thing I know, I'm out. It's 1:30 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and I've been drinking all day long. Now, I don't remember what time I got home, but over the course of the night, my phone had died. I was on my phone, and then I was no longer on my phone, and it was dead. I had worked the next morning at 7 in the morning on Monday, so I'm out till 2 in the morning, Monday morning. I go home, I wake up, I turn my phone on, plug it in the charger. It says 10:30. It's like, wow, I was supposed to be at work like 4 hours ago. So email, the guy was like, oh, you were a no-show. Everything okay? And I emailed him back. I was like, yeah, I told him what happened. He didn't answer me back until 4:30 a.m. the next day. So I was like,
4:30?
in the email I sent him back, I was like, do you guys want me to come in tomorrow? And he answered me back at 4:30 in the morning the next day and said, yeah, come in for your shift at 8. I was asleep.
Yeah.
So I woke up at like 10 o'clock the next day and was like, oh, I was supposed to be here 2 hours ago. I'm not going back. I was like, that's done. Plus
Yeah.
the job was shitty. I would like lift like hundreds of cases of beer a day. I just felt bad because everybody I worked with were cool. And I know the fact that I wasn't there on that Monday and I wasn't there on that Tuesday, all those dudes who worked there had to do way more work and work way harder because I wasn't there. So that's pretty jerked off. But I was not going back after fucking not showing up for one shift, and then he said, yeah, come in for 8 o'clock, and then I like missed that one.
How do you say that?
Yeah.
At the first job I ever had, how I ended up leaving at a restaurant was sort of like that, because I already told them from the beginning that I was working this summer, because it was when I was still in college. I said I can work for you from May till August, whatever, the next day when I had to go back to school, because it was far to travel there. So I didn't want to do that with going to school and everything. So they already knew that I was done, like, coming around August time. So it was, like, late July, and the lady who was, like, sort of the boss, and, like, her husband was, like, more the boss, and, like, every once in a while she would kind of, like, tell you what to do.
Yeah.
She made the schedule, which wasn't normal. Like, she wasn't normally the person, like, making the schedule. And then she sent the schedule out, and I never looked at it. So like, say she sent it out on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say she sent it out on a Monday. I never looked at the schedule, right? Later on the same day, she texted me and said, "Hey, I changed your schedule. You're working Saturday and Sunday now." If somebody told you that, what day you were going to work?
Saturday.
Right. And Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm just saying Saturday because that's the first
So let's
day.
just clear it up. Somebody texts you, "I changed your schedule. You're working Saturday and Sunday now." What's the first day of the week that you're going to work?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, I'm sitting in my car, like just like chilling, doing something, and I get a text, "Hey, you're a no-call, no-show today." And I said, "Hell, you told me I'm working Saturday and Sunday." And she said,
What time? Do you remember what time you got that text? Like
"On Thursday?"
Yeah. Like what time you're supposed to be in, and then what time they texted you?
I think I was supposed to be in like 4, and they texted me at like 8:30 at night.
Okay, so that's pretty late.
Yeah, like, "Hey, you were a no-call, no." Well, they let the hours go by to see if I really wasn't showing up.
But
You know?
you don't know in 4 hours of not showing up. Like I used to manage a sporting goods store that rhymes with Rochelle's, and if somebody wouldn't come in, like if someone was scheduled at 8 and they weren't there at 8:30, I was calling them. Like, "Are you on your way? Is everything okay? Are you good? Are you coming to work?"
Yeah.
We would establish all that right there, and like, "Do you still need me? Yeah, can you come in?" Or, "No, come in tomorrow for your next shift." You know, it's best to establish. And like, I know places have different procedures and way of doing things, but to me, it seems like, well, this person works for me, they're employed by me, they're not here and they're supposed to be. First of all, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Did the person get in an accident on the way here? You never know what the hell happened. Then establish, are you coming in or are you not coming in?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need, like, can you come in? Like, I need you here for a reason. So like, it's weird that they waited 4 hours, like that, like yards, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, wow, I just blew it up.
So then
Oh,
I just responded to the lady and said,
I meant large.
because that was just like, the way that she acted about it was so like as if everything that went wrong was my fault, when clearly like she made a mistake. First of all, she made a mistake with the original schedule if she had to change it to begin with. And then
Yeah.
also didn't take into account that like I might not have even looked at the other days on the schedule
Yeah.
yet, because it was the same day that she sent me the text. And like now it just seems like, well, whatever it was, you're working Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So she clearly made the mistake. And then just like the attitude she gave me about like when I explained to her like, this is why I didn't come in today, because of this miscommunication, as if like I was lying to her, like because I didn't want to come in. I just texted her back and said like, "Okay, well, I'll come in tomorrow and I'll come in Saturday and Sunday, but after that, there was like one more week after that I was going to be working there anyway." So I said, after that, I'm not going to do the last week. Like, I'm just going to do Saturday and Sunday. That's going to be it. And she was like, "This actually worked out so good for me." She texted back and said, "It's okay. We don't need you tomorrow." Like trying to out petty me. And I was just like, okay,
You're
good.
lost. I'll just do something else on my time. That's better.
Actually, I'll be there Sunday to pick up my money then, and that's it. Thanks. I mean,
And when I was at the beer place, like, I guess I don't feel too bad because it's not like they were hype. Like, I wasn't really missing out. The pay wasn't amazing.
yeah.
Like the one day, like I was on my phone and like some guy I was just working with, he wasn't even like my boss.
Mhm.
Was like, "You know, we're not supposed to be on there, right? I know you're looking at the schedule, but like you're not supposed to be on that." I was like, first of all, suck my bird, because why are you telling me I'm not allowed to be on my phone? Because I pulled it out for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who you think you are, but if you're not paying my fucking
Anything
check,
like that
then don't
just
say nothing
sends
to
me immediately off. Like,
Are you giving me my check on Friday, or is the dudes upstairs getting my check on Friday? Then shut your fucking mouth, because I don't know why
Yeah.
you would do that. Because
Yeah.
if you were on your phone, I wouldn't be like, "The fuck you doing?" I wouldn't go rat you out.
Yeah.
So people like that can go fucking screw. I
Yeah,
don't
when
like
you
that.
go to like a new job and like the dude who's been there forever tries to like little boy you.
Yeah, but like, yeah, exactly. He was trying to little boy me because he could have, if he was being cool, he was like, "Dude, like, you don't want to have your phone out. Like, they walk by a lot. You'll get in trouble." If he wanted to be cool about it,
Yeah.
he can be like, "Dude,
He literally said you shouldn't be on that.
He's like, "Yo, I know you're looking at the schedule, and I know it's a schedule, but you shouldn't be looking at that." And I said, "Well, actually, it's the first time the schedule got sent to my phone, and I actually never even seen one of these emails before, so I wanted to check it out on the spot, so in case I had any questions, I can ask them." Like, I don't know, like, what do you want me to like? I was trying to one up him on my response. That's why I wasn't like, okay.
That's why regular jobs are just trash,